Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are going to do a worksheet on bearings. This worksheet has been uploaded on Akzsi app. The link is in description box. You need organization code that is also mentioned, and if you're not able to log in through your mobile number, you can log in through your email address. So let me start with the sheet. In this question, it says 2 points A and B are 700 km apart. The bearing of A from B is 070 degrees. Using a scale of 1 centimeter is 200 kilometers. Construct a diagram showing the relative positions of 2 points. See, basically there are 2 points A and B and they are actually 700 kilometers apart. But on paper you can't draw 700 kilometers, and for that they have given you the scale. That means if 100 kilometer is represented with 1 centimeters, that means 700 kilometers will be 7 centimeters on paper. And so we have to draw a 7 centimeter line. Important thing is we have the bearing as well. So it says the bearing of A from B. I have cleared in theory from B. That means at B you first have to draw the line pointing towards north, and then you have to draw the degree. So that means the first point that I should draw is B. And over B, I have to draw a line pointing towards north. It's like this. Now from this line, I have to measure the angle. So let me measure the angle. 70 degree would be here. This is our 70 degrees. That means I have to draw a line like this. And this is going to be 7 centimeters. On your paper, it should be 7 centimeter. This line should be 7 centimeter. I have drawn 7 centimeters. I have to name it A. This is my final construction and it's showing me the relative position. So what is this? This is 70 degrees. Question 2 says the diagram below shows the bearing of A from B. Now find the bearing of B from A. Let me see the diagram. See, what's written here is diagram not drawn accurately. That's the important part here. Diagram not drawn accurately, that means you can't measure it. If it's written that diagram drawn accurately, in that case, you have to measure the angle. Else you don't have to measure the angle. So what's given? This whole is 280 degrees. First, we have to understand what is given and what is being asked. Given is bearing of A from B. Now we have to calculate B from A. From A, that means at A, we have to draw a line pointing towards north. Now measure the angle till you reach to B. That means this angle is our bearing of B from A. To measure this, we can use parallel line properties. This whole is 280. If this whole is 280, this is going to be 360 minus 280. 360 minus 280. Why? Because we know this whole circle is actually 360 degrees. So this particular will be 360 minus 280, which is 80 degrees. Now we know that since this is 80 degrees, we have to use a parallel line property. Both north and north, since they both are pointing towards north, that means they are parallel to each other. And this AB is a transversal. It's definitely looking like this. Two parallel lines and one transversal. In that case, these two angles are interior angles. That means clearly you can see this and this. They both are interior angles. And we know that when two lines are parallel and a transversal is cutting them, then the interior angles always add up to 180 degrees. So if I say this is going to be x, so x plus 80 degrees is equals to 180 degrees. So x is equals to 100 degrees. This is 100 degrees. That means bearing of B from A is 100 degrees. Let me move on to the next question. Now it says, the diagram of bearing is shown below. The bearing of B from A is 040 degrees. And it says that it's not drawn accurately. That means you can't measure the bearing. You have to solve the bearing. The bearing of B from A is 40 degrees. That means they have given this one as 40 degrees. Now find the bearing of A from B. As I told you, from B, that means at B I have to draw a line pointing towards north, and then I have to measure angle in clockwise direction till I reach to A. That means this whole angle I am supposed to calculate. So for that, again I have to use the angle sum property or the parallel line properties. Parallel line property says if these two are parallel and this is a transversal line, then clearly these two are my interior angles. So interior angles add up to 180 degrees. If this is 40 degrees, this is going to be 180 minus 40, which will give you 140 degrees. If this is 140 degrees and I want to calculate this reflex angle, the outer angle, clearly, the inner angle plus outer angle add up to 360 degrees. If this is x, then x plus 140 is equals to 360. And from here, I can calculate x as 360 minus 140, which will be 220 degrees. Question 4 says, by measuring the angles below, state the bearing of. You have to calculate the angle. You have to measure the angle. You have to use protector for this one. Bearing of A from B. That means first we have to see which angle they are asking. Bearing of A from B. From B, that means at B you have to draw a line pointing towards north. Then from here, we already have line pointing towards north. From here, we have to move clockwise until I reach to A. This one. This whole angle I have to measure. How can we measure this angle? It's simple. The simplest way is extend this line. And clearly, we know the half angle, this line is always 180 degrees. So only this angle we have to calculate. I'm again repeating because you have to calculate this whole angle, this complete angle. We know that this part, if I stretch this line, this is 180 degrees. So that means I need to calculate this remaining. For that, I need a protector. This is 73 degrees. If this part is 73 degrees and we want to calculate this whole, that means this whole is going to be 180 degrees plus 73 degrees. Bearing of A from B will be 180. You can get 73 as well because I don't have complete markings. So approximately it's going to be 73. 180 plus 73 degrees will be 253 degrees. Part B says bearing of B from A. From A, that means at A, I have to draw an angle. I have to draw a line pointing towards north. Then from there, I need to move clockwise until I reach to B. This one. That means this angle I have to calculate. So if I place this one, this is approximately 73 or 72 degrees. Somewhere in between you get this answer. Now moving on to the next one. The map below shows the position of 2 points. The scale of map is 1 is to 10 kilometers. It says the part A says find the actual distance between A and B. That means first we have to measure with the help of ruler. We'll get to know that this is 7.4 centimeters. Since I'm doing it virtually, so it can be between 7.4 to 7.5 centimeters. 10 kilometers represented by 1 centimeter on paper. That means actually the distance would be into 10. 74. So it's going to be 74 to 75 kilometer is the distance between them. Now point A says you have to calculate the bearing of A from B. So for that, the first thing is we have to join them together. That should be our priority. Then bearing of A from B. From B, that means at A, B, we have to draw a line pointing towards north, and from there we need to move clockwise until I reach to A. This whole angle is going to be my bearing of A from B. So A from B will be this angle. So let me measure this one. This is 269 degrees. So bearing of A from B is 269 degrees. Now the second is we have to calculate bearing of B from A. B from A. From A, that means at A I have to draw a line pointing towards north, and from there I need to move clockwise. So from here I need to move clockwise until I reach to B. This angle I have to measure. So let me measure this angle. This angle is 89 degrees. So bearing of B from A is 89 degrees. Let me move on to the next question. Question 6 says, a man is standing at a point A and there are two roads, one towards B and another towards C. He walks towards C. On what bearing does he walk? So, a man is standing at point A. Here the man is standing and there are two roads, one towards B and one towards C. That one is moving towards here and another is here. He walks towards C. He walked towards C. He was standing in A and walks towards C. So on what bearing does he? So from where will we calculate the angle? It's Z. Bearing of C from A. That means from A I have to move clockwise until I reach to C. So this is gonna be 360 degrees. Now let me see the second part. Another man is at B and walks towards the first man. On what bearing does he walk? He is at B and walk towards the A. That means what bearing is? Bearing is of A from B. Because he's walking towards A. That means from A he's walking. That's why we have to calculate bearing of A from B, which means this angle. So if we want to calculate this angle, it's easy. This whole add up to 180 degrees clearly. So if this is 30, this is gonna be 180 minus 30, which means it's 150 degrees. Now again, if we go for the parallel line properties, these two are parallel lines and this is a transversal. So if this is 150 degrees, this is gonna be 180 minus 50 because these are interior angles and they add up to 180 degrees. So this is x, it's gonna be x plus 150 is equals to 180. So x is 30 degrees. So bearing of A from B will be 30 degrees. Now let me move on to the next question. 7 says the diagram in question 5 shows the position of 2 points A and B. A third point C has a bearing of 100 degrees from A and has a bearing of 210 degrees from B. In the space below, show the position of point C. So the diagram of question 5 has given the 2 points A and B. So let me see that diagram. This is the diagram and we have the positions of A and B. We have to locate point C here and we have to use some information given. Let's see what's the information. It says a third point C has a bearing of 100 degrees from A. From A, that means already we have a line pointing towards north at A and from there we have to move 100 degrees. And then after moving 100 degrees, we have to draw a line. So let me draw this one. With the help of a protector, we have to draw 100 degrees from A. This is 100 degrees. So I need to draw line. Nothing is mentioned. It's not mentioned that how many centimeters is it. So we just have to draw a line stretching infinitely like this. Then let me see what's the other information given to us. The other information says a bearing of 210 degrees from B. That means at B, I have to draw a line pointing towards north and from there I have to move 210 degrees. So again, I need to use protector. I have to place it at point B. The center should coincide with point B. And then we have to draw 210 degrees. So this will be 210 degrees. And from here, I have to draw a line stretching because this whole degree is 210. And this is 100. Wherever they are meeting at this point, this will be C. And this is the reason they haven't mentioned the distance, because they are asking wherever these two are meeting, this will give you point C. It says M is 10 kilometers away from L. So let me write 10 kilometers. And the bearing of M from L to M, that means this angle is 030. Distance between M and O, that means this whole distance is given as 15 kilometers. And the bearing of O from M, this whole angle, this is given as 120 degrees. Find the bearing of O from L. That means from L till we reach to O. For that, as I told you, have to join them. So let me join it. And now let me see what they are asking. So it says the bearing of O from L. From L to O. This whole angle they are asking. And for this whole angle, definitely what you have to do is, already 30 degrees is given. You just need to calculate this angle. Only this angle. We can see that these two are parallel. Blue, and this one I'm showing with blue. They both are parallel to each other. And there is a transversal going like this. So clearly you can see that these two are making interior angles. This one and this one. So let me clear it up all so that you can understand it properly. What two lines I'm talking about? This line and this line. And this is a transversal. These two angles are making interior angles and they add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 30 degrees, this will be 180 minus 30, which is 150 degrees. So we can clearly know that this angle is 150 degrees. Then this we have calculated as 150 degrees. This is 30 degrees. This angle is 120 degrees. So we know all the sum of all the angles of the whole circle, this whole degree is always 360. So 150 plus 120, and let I say this remaining be x, equals 360 degrees. So this will be 270 degrees plus x equals 360 degrees, and x is equals to 360 minus 270, which is 90 degrees. So this is 90 degrees. This is a 90 degree. Now it's very easy for us to know that MLN is actually like this. 90 degrees at N. So let I name M and it's 90 degrees. Then this is L and this is O. So definitely the LO is a hypotenuse. LM is given as 10 kilometers. MO is given as 15 kilometers. And if I apply tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So opposite is 10 over adjacent. So 10 over 15 is 0.66. So tan theta is equals to 0.666 recurring. And theta is tan inverse 0.66 recurring, which will be 33.69. That means this angle is 33.69. So now I can apply angle sum property to calculate this angle, only this angle, or I can directly use the formula, trigonometry. Either way I can do that. But if you have calculated this angle, then this angle is much easier, because now I have to apply the angle sum property in this triangle. So angle M plus angle L plus angle O is equals to 180 degrees. 90 plus 33.69 plus angle L is equals to 180 degrees. So this will be 123.69 plus angle L equals 180, and angle L is finally 180 minus 23.69. 123.69, which will give you 56.31. So this angle is 56.31. And we have to calculate this whole angle. So this is 30. So this whole angle, that is the bearing of O from L, is 30 plus 56.31, which will be finally 86.31. So this is our final answer. So that's it for today. In the next class, we'll start a new topic. This worksheet you can access on Akzsi app. I have mentioned the organization code as well. And those who are not able to log in with the mobile, they can use email ID to log into the app. If you want to enroll for one-on-one or for the group classes that are very affordable, group classes are just £24 per month. So if you want to enroll yourself, you have to send email at akzsiacademy@gmail.com and the demo slot will be provided to you. So that's it for today. Thank you and have a great day. Stay tuned.